Hello guys, welcome to Recap Corner. Today I'm gonna explain a movie named American Psycho. It is an American psychological horror movie directed by Mary Harron. It is based on Bret Easton Ellis's 1991 novel, American Psycho, which is set in the 1980s. The movie starts, and in this scene, we see the main character, whose name is Patrick Bateman. He is an investment banker, based in the New York City. His life revolves around dining at trendy restaurants while keeping up appearances for his fiancée Evelyn and his circle of wealthy and shallow associates, most of whom he hates. Bateman is a materialistic man. His routine includes his morning exercise, beautification, he has a designer wardrobe, and expensive furniture. However, beneath his social veneer, he is suffering and wishes to inflict his suffering on others. At a business meeting, Bateman and his associates flaunt their business cards. One of his companion Paul's cards seemed better than his. Enraged by the perceived superiority of his co-worker, Bateman murders a homeless man and his dog on his way back home. At a Christmas party, Bateman makes plans to have dinner with Alan, who mistakes Bateman for another co-worker. Bateman resents Alan for his more affluent lifestyle. He manipulates Alan into getting drunk and lures him back to his apartment. While playing a popular song, Bateman lectures Alan about the artistic merits of the song before proceeding to murder him with a mirror-polished axe. After disposing of the body, Bateman breaks into Alan's apartment and leaves a phony message on his answering machine saying that Alan has gone on a business trip to London. Bateman is later interviewed about Alan's disappearance by private investigator Donald Kimball. The story moves on. Bateman invites two sex workers, whom he names Christy and Sabrina, to his apartment and expounds upon his opinions of the band Genesis. After they have fun, Bateman brings out instruments which he uses to torture them. They later leave his apartment beaten and bloodied. The next day, Bateman invites his secretary Jean to dinner, suggesting that she meet him at his apartment for drinks. Jean arrives and she starts talking sitting on the couch. Bateman slowly holds a nail gun to the back of her head while they chat. All of a sudden he receives a message from Evelyn on his answering machine. He withdraws his weapon and asks Jean to leave. The next day, the private detective meets Bateman for lunch and tells him he is not under suspicion in Alan's disappearance. Detective Kimball interviews Bateman again and, while Kimball harbors his own doubts of Bateman, he reveals that a colleague of Bateman's claims to have spotted Paul Allen in London, calling into question the entire investigation. Bateman is initially relieved by the news, but is perturbed and begins to doubt himself. Bateman invites Christy and his acquaintance Elizabeth to Alan's apartment to have sex. Later he kills Elizabeth during the act. Christy runs, and she discovers multiple female corpses as she searches for an exit. Naked Bateman chases her and drops a chainsaw on her as she flees down a staircase, killing her. One night, as he uses an ATM, he sees a cat and the ATM displays the text "Feed me a stray cat." When he prepares to shoot the cat, a woman confronts him, so he shoots her. A police chase ensues, but Bateman shoots and kills the cops and blows up a police car. Fleeing to his office, Bateman calls his lawyer Harold Carnes and frantically leaves a confession regarding the many murders on Carnes' answering machine. The following morning, Detective Kimball meets with Bateman for the third time. Although Bateman is terrified he will be found out, Kimball assures him that several witnesses saw Alan in London, and Kimball tells Bateman that Alan probably just skipped town on vacation for a few weeks. The following morning, Bateman visits Alan's apartment, expecting to clean up Alan's remains, but is surprised to see it vacant and for sale. He pretends to be a potential buyer, but the realtor tricks Bateman into revealing that he is not there to buy the apartment. She then cryptically tells him that the apartment does not belong to Paul Allen before ordering him to leave. While Bateman meets with his colleagues for lunch, horrified Jean finds detailed drawings of murder and mutilation in Bateman's office journal. Bateman sees his lawyer Carnes at the restaurant and mentions the phone message he left last evening. Carnes mistakes Bateman for another colleague and laughs off the phone confession as a joke. He tells either you are just kidding with me or trying to befool me. Bateman desperately clarifies who he is and, again, confesses the murders, but Carnes rebukes it as impossible, as he recently had dinner with Alan in London. Confused and exhausted, Bateman returns to his friends, where they were discussing their dinner reservations yet again. We see Bateman in a dilemma, thinking if his crimes will never be discovered or that they were all imaginary. It appears he was suffering from a mental disorder and was fantasizing about all these murders in his head. The movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to enjoy more movies like this.